You're not here on Friday.
I said you don't know what happened on Friday.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff. I won't say any of it.
Sorry. What do you think about this MacD basketball guy that said that thing about basketball?
Ah!
But that's your number one story.
That guy is so just Nazon, please. You're live on YouTube, guys.
Hey YouTube. Let me get you pumped up and ready to go.
Every corner you take, every fighter
Oh, I'm not ready.
every record you beat, we will be following you. Every single jump, every trophy won, every wicket you break, every breakaway you make, every cross, every dunk, every dunk, every pit stop, every loss, every victory, every single sport. We will be watching you.
Welcome inside the locker room.
And we are live inside the locker room. Get ready for a whole world of sports for a Monday morning. Everything that's been going on over the weekend and into this morning, here it comes. In the studio is Victor Peppel.
Yes, and Shukman Martins.
Yes.
For the next 30 minutes, we have.
Oh my goodness, there she is in blue and pink with a baseball cap for once, looking like the sports that she's about to analyze. It's Tiger. How you doing? I don't
I'm
know why
about to
you're
analyze
looking-
F1. See, you
His
didn't even put
baseball cap.
a whole special guest came in and you didn't put her mic on. I'm leaving. Guess you beg me.
Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. Off you go. In the meantime, we're going to take the stories for you people. Make sure you join. This will be the fan interaction episode. Whatever, man. We can do this. So send your messages into 0809 440 981. You can think I don't know why you're doing this. You better come back if you want your money. Come back. You can also go on YouTube. We are streaming live right now. youtube.com/smooth981fm Lagos. Leave your comments up on the live stream and take it to Twitter as well. Hashtag lockerroom981 and tag us at smooth981fm. So there you have it. All the different platforms that you can get in on the game and get in on all the locker room talk. So let's start off with what's going on with this very, very late reversal. That's okay, let's just discuss it. So the federal government has rescinded its decision to withdraw Nigeria from all international basketball engagements, a decision that was taken following the crisis bedeviling the running of the sports in the country. And in a statement on Thursday, the federal government reversed their decision as a result of a letter from the faction led by Musa Kida asking the minister to approached the president for the reversal of the 2-year withdrawal of Nigeria from international basketball competitions.
Yes.
And now,
So on Thursday last week, Musa Kida had a press statement where they were saying the federal government will reverse. Maybe you don't want to come and do it.
continue, people. We're
You see
listening
how
to
you're
you.
missing from Musa Kida didn't have any press conference.
Oh yeah, tell us what did he have. At least now she came, so we took it.
Just say please Sega.
We took it already. Fine Sega.
Oh, yeah. All right, people. So let me give you the gist. It's because of you, not because of Shokwe and
That's
Pepper.
all right. Just give them.
All right. So here's what actually happened with all this PR that we're about to give you. The minister decided that when he suspended basketball, he said, you know what,
Was he
you
the
know,
one or president? They said it was the president that suspended basketball.
when the minister suspended basketball. Who told you the president knows who is fighting the basketball? He only signed what's put at his desk. That's the job of the sports minister, to inform the presidency. So at the end of the day, the minister suspended basketball. So when the minister, they had actually thought that they were going to be able to reach out to FIBA and talk to FIBA, as per we are from the federal government of Nigeria. FIBA was like, who are you? Does this look like the World Bank, the IMF, the AU, the United Nations? This is FIBA. We only talk to basketball federations. Are you the president of the basketball federation? No. then we can't speak to you.
Separation of b-ball and state, man.
Is as simple as that. And we said it constantly. I remember one space that we were on, and the Tigress held a space after the suspension happened, and there was a civil servant there. She kept saying, FIBA will have to talk to us. I said, as what?
Where?
As who? Who do you think you are? It's a way civil servants think about, because they work in government. There's a way they think. And so, the minister tried several times to approach FIBA. FIBA was not taking that meeting. So Masai Ujiri, and we all know Masai Ujiri, GM, Toronto Raptors, Nigerian, stepped in and told FIBA, you know what, just listen to these guys and hear what they have to say. So FIBA said, okay, we'll take the meeting because of Masai Ujiri, not because it's an official channel, but just because Masai is Masai and he spoke with us, we are going to take this meeting. So they had a meeting, and then the minister came, Masai talking. Now, FIBA just said to him, well, let me tell you what's going to happen. If you decide to proceed with this your 2-year ban, the men's basketball team are supposed to play a World Cup qualifier in July. Should the men's basketball team miss that World Cup qualifier in July, you automatically incur the ban of FIBA. It's going to be a 5-year ban. That fortunately for you, it will be a 5-year ban that will run concurrently with your 2-year suspension. But when you come back in 2027,
Wow.
we will still speak with Musa Kida, because as on our records, that is the president of the federation that we know. So after you finish dancing your dance and killing your basketball, when you come back, it's still Musa Kida that we are going to speak to. So the minister, this is what we have been saying since the suspension came in, that if the suspension was to remove Musa Kida, it's not going to happen. The only thing you can do is you can talk to the Congress within the basketball that they should remove him. That's the only legal way he will go. But that you will not remove, it's not going to happen. So when FIBA told him that, he said, well, that's what's going to happen. And the only reason we took this meeting is because of Masai. So you can do with that information what you please. So the minister now comes back to Nigeria and says, well, they told me this thing before, but now I've heard from the horse's mouth. And the only way to make this happen was to try and contact the same Musa Kida that they were trying to punish. So it's not that this. So this is the official information that's coming out. That the board wrote a letter to them to beg. They said, you know what? Let's resolve this thing so that it will not be bad. That's how this decision to reverse this 2-year suspension was not based on any letter that Musa Kida wrote. It was based on the information he gave.
My own at this point is the Tigresses.
Yeah,
they are not going to the World Cup, period.
That's my own.
With Mali.
They are not going to the World Cup at all.
So at the end of the day, we come to the exact same spot, except now the Tigresses have lost out.
Yes, the Tigresses were the losers in this. Here's what's funny, and I've been saying these things since. So before, one of the should I say tools that the minister was using to push this was that certain members of the men's basketball team wrote a letter to him saying that they were going to protest on the international stage. No, he said certain members of the basketball team, but that's not what happened. Some of the members of the men's basketball team came out to say that they wrote a letter to him, to the minister, saying that that they don't want to work with Musa Kida. That was what they used. So it was members of the men's basketball team that wrote this letter. At the end of the day, it's the women's basketball team that suffered. They are not going to the World Cup. So yes, the women's basketball team are not going to World Cup because, like I said before, the World Cup, once your team qualifies, there are other logistics that have to take place in the build up to the World Cup, and there's a time limit for all those things: printing of tickets, sale of tickets, hotels, and all of those things. They have to print all those things and do all those things. And when the time was approaching, they had to put pressure on FIBA Africa, which is why FIBA Africa had to say, hey, Mali, since Nigeria is not going, come and take their spot. To reverse that decision now would be unfair. And Mali has the right to go to CAS to complain should that happen, but that's not even going to happen.
Well, Jibril on the road sent this in.
Call
The
me
FIFA
outraged.
analysis is so sweet. It sounded like a story, really, just listening to Taylor
Oh
talk
yeah,
about it.
it's drama. So at the end of the day, you're just looking at and you know, I think it was in a space held by Colin Noodle, who said, you know, he spoke with some people in the ministry, and some people told the minister that don't do this. At the end of the day, we are still the ones going to suffer.
Because how are you
the
going up
minister went
against an
ahead.
international
Yeah.
organization with your national leg?
Yes, they're not going to
They're
speak
not
to you.
beholden to you.
Yeah, I kept
Alright.
saying it. As long as you're not the AU, the United Nations, the World Bank, they don't need to deal with the government.
All right, let's keep this going. After setting a new African record in the women's 100-meter hurdles, and the national trials concluded in Benin City yesterday, 25-year-old Toby Amuson,
Hey,
said she's mentally ready to defend her title at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in England.
Yes, she's ready to do that. She has right now the best form in the 110 meters hurdles.
listen, every time I hear Toby Amusan, I just start smiling.
Yeah, and she's doing a fantastic job in Benin over the weekend. It was the way she sprinted across, like dusted everybody. You know what? This is me setting a new championship record. People should not test me. You know, it was beautiful to see that she's keeping up that consistency, especially in the build up to a major championship. So fantastic one for her. But a lot of news came out of there. Now remember that the ladies in sports conference held
Yeah.
in May.
We were
All right.
there.
So sometimes people ask me what really happens in this place. So one of our grant recipients, Stella Ayanleke, she came third in that race. No, the student of Unilag.
Remember?
So she
So
was a
round of
grant
applause
race. Yeah,
in order for
she
her.
ran with Toby Amuso. She came third
Oh, wow.
in that race. So
A round of applause for that, Jerry.
Commonwealth.
Well deserved,
As
well
if-
deserved.
Pepper, please don't be doing manual labor. There we go.
as if that was not enough,
Mhm.
in the high jump, Temitope, the tall one you were
Okay.
inquiring about, she won gold. She shared her gold though with
Are you
Issa
doing
Esther.
manual labor?
She shared her gold with Issa Esther. Both of them went over the 188 meters. But they couldn't go over the next one. So they decided, just like it happened in the Olympics with the men's pole vault, I think. Or was it pole vault or high jump? There was a competition in the men's side of it that both people shared gold. That was what happened in Benin on Saturday. It was Temitope and Issa that shared the first position. So yes, that's what we do. We discover homegrown. We look out for homegrown talents that are doing well, and we support them. So next time they ask you about ladies in sports conference, at least you know one aspect of what we do. On the men's side, intriguing news though. Adekoke, who caught people's attention during the Olympics, can you remember that guy in the 100 meters that caught people's attention during the Olympics? He got injured, so he couldn't run in the semi-final or the final. But Favor Ashe is the fastest man in Nigeria right now, and he ran a sub 10. So I'm already hopeful.
Oh, wow.
exactly. That was the
is
big news.
not-
It was not that he won the race. It was a sub,
Sub
10.
10. That's impressive, man. Okay.
All right.
Right.
So,
So-
athletics is coming back.
Guys, lots and lots of interesting talent to keep an eye out for. I love it. Real quick before we go on a break, let's take some messages.
All right, Justin Baba says, once again, the anyhowness of this country hurts the innocent women in basketball. God, what do we need to do to get delivered of this madness? Anyways,
This thing, you don't understand. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, the Tigresses. That's the only thing. It hurts my soul that now
Chimabi
Let's
Victor
move
from
on.
Alaba says, good morning, Tega and everyone in the studio. What's the benefit of the federal government lifting the ban when our ladies won't be at the FIBA World Cup? This is totally ridiculous. I'm very annoyed with them, with the way they are treating Tega's gender, who always make us proud in the tournament. They participate, unlike the other gender who only go to a tournament
Pepple's
to
gender.
mark register with nothing to show for. That's Chima B.
Pepple.
Victor's gender.
I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking my head at you and your gender right now. Your letter writing gender. Okay, we're gonna
Oh,
take
yeah.
a quick break and we'll be back with more of your messages and more sports. It's all here inside the locker room.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing. It was the They wrote a letter. At the end of the day, they are not the ones that suffered.
Oh my god.
And they wrote this letter being misinformed. So, this new board has a player representation, which is why the other election was very steady. When they had the player union representation,
Oh,
um,
by the way, LK Aderogba, who's telling me not to bully Tega. You are whose army? I'm gonna bully her if I want. You don't know, but all these short people are the actual bullies.
oh, she's attempting to bully me. She doesn't know yet.
What did I tell
It's
you?
because of you people. Oh. If it's not for you, LK Adorogba, the thing I would have used Shopper side today, she would have spoken about what happened in Benin. Even if she didn't know there was anything happening in Benin. Herself and people, they will come together and manufacture facts.
Musakida in his statements.
I'm a presenter.
They tried to
See
make Musa
these?
Kida.
These are lightning fingers.
They tried to make Musa Kida write this, come and give the speech. Musa Kida was like, hold on. Why did you suspend, but it's me that is going to suspend? My friend can't do it yourself. So at the end of the day, it now had to be the permanent secretary.
Of the ministry.
Yeah, of
That's
the
what he
ministry.
always does. He
Then
will
now-
step aside, ministry, PEMSEC, come and do
He's
it.
in Rwanda, sir. He's in Rwanda, licking his wounds.
Youth and sports.
Just
Youth
and then he was someone was saying, oh, he's talking about development of youth and sports, and I was just like, you just killed the dream of a whole women's basketball team. What are you talking about development in Rwanda?
Oh,
African
Nolly
Bako.
S, you're so right. How could you even see that happening? I'm so sweet, right?
What's that?
Nolly S says, laughing out loud, Shopper bullying Tega? I can't even see it happening. You can't. The halo is above my head right now.
You know.
She bullies me on a constant, not even daily, but minutely basis.
Nolly,
I'm just here.
I'm here. I'm just here for you.
And I have to take it.
I will address this with people. You owe me breakfast, and I want spaghetti
See what this
and
is?
chicken.
This is called a shakedown.
I want pasta with pepper.
Now I have to start paying her protection money so she doesn't bully me even more. All right, we're back in. Okay, we're in with more sports and more messages. Let's start off with this one in from Shay, who says, Chopin, I'm vexing Haba. Why should the Tigresses suffer? Yes. Why should they? How? A whole World Cup qualification, we throw them away like biscuits, like biscuit nylon. See, Sports Minister, you better restore the ban now for 25 years because this year reversal makes no difference. Tega, please console us with under 17 outstanding performance, Jerry.
Okay, so let's console with you with the news. Nigeria won Wafubi. Clap for yourself. He's talking about his gender.
No, don't worry. That's just me looking at something. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, he's trying to say that his gender wants something, so we should applaud them.
No. Okay.
So what is wrong with you
Mean much.
today?
Well, Tajudeen
I'm
from
upset.
Alimosho is in with a message. Says, is anyone charging the sports minister for this ineptitude in handling the basketball issue? After all the stress those ladies went through in qualifying, it's quite sad they'll not be played because of the ineptitude of the sports minister. I think Josh had a message for you, Shopper.
Why are you always doing this, Pepple? This is addressed to both of us. So Josh says, Dear Chopin and Pepple, you guys were 1 minute away from seeing the first locker room strike. Please, can we treat the queen of sports broadcasts with all the tenderness and care she desires? We know there will be days when mood swings will come to play. Let's just bear with her. Okay, we'll bear with her. We're bearing with you, Tega.
People do not treat me specially. I will leave you.
All right, monster.
Okay,
Go.
let's move on. So let's talk about Eastbourne, right?
Yes. Let's
Okay, and twice two-time Wimbledon champion Petra Kvitova geared up for this year's tournament in style as she sailed past former Roland Garros winner Helena Ostapenko 6-3, 6-2 to capture the WTA 500 Eastbourne International crown on Saturday.
Yes,
Woo!
huge one over the weekend. A lot of tournaments went on in tennis in preparation to Wimbledon, which starts today. But we'll talk about Wimbledon later. But let's go back to Eastbourne, where first of all, the big news: Serena and Ons Jabeur competed in, and they were fantastic. The first day was a little shaky, like I said, given that they practiced, they met each other for the first time just 2 hours before their match.
Wow.
And had their first practice session. So you could expect that the match was rusty. But they won that match. But their second game, it was the way they were wicked in that game. The girls didn't even catch any breath. 6-3, 6-2, game over. And it was Serena just being back to her flawless serving form. And like she needed one game to just remind herself of who she is. And then she came back in that
She was
second
like,
game.
muscle memory.
Yeah,
We're back.
unfortunately, they couldn't continue because Ons Jabeur pulled out with a minor injury. And given that this was Wimbledon, I know it was precautionary, but they pulled out, so they didn't go all the way to the finals. I wanted to see them win something together, but that was
No, you wanted to see them make people cry. That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I like that too. But that was that for the doubles. Kvitova, on the other hand, rolled back the years to when she won her Grand Slams, and she was just in blistering form. See, Ostapenko all week had been bullying people on court. Like, you'd bring your best game, Ostapenko would just be like, here. It was
Like, oh, that's cute.
she was upsettingly, annoyingly good. And then she got to the final, and Kvitova gave her a taste of her medicine. It was like, here, drink what you've been giving for all week. And it wasn't pretty to watch. But at the end of the day, Kvitova won her championship. So congratulations to her. It's a good way to build up into Wimbledon. In the other tournament, it was in Germany, it was Caroline Garcia who beat Belinda Bencic after coming down from a set and a breakdown to winning that match. So congratulations to her. And then Tsitsipas, who had a very questionable year all year, finally won his first title of the season. So good build up into Wimbledon. Let's see how this week will take off.
All right, let's talk FIFA allowing countries. FIFA will allow countries select up to 26 players for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
Yes. So I heard you touched on this on.
Yeah, we did. Me and Inni on Friday.
On Friday. But all the big deals are going on with FIFA. We'll use this to cover that news. So first of all, you know why FIFA, if you touched on this on Friday, you already know why FIFA is doing this. The timing of the World Cup, the leftover of COVID and all the competitions that it's had on the players. And that's why they've increased the number of players to 26 and then 11 officials on the bench. 11. My goodness.
Yeah,
that's going to be a church bench. It cannot be an ordinary bench. But let's see how that pans out. But there's also news coming from Qatar. What was supposed to be, I would say, the cheapest World Cup has turned out to be the most expensive World Cup. Again, because of the timing of what is happening in the world and because of the place where it's happening, Qatar being the small town it is and not having enough hotel rooms to host everybody. And so the rest of you have to go to other states in the UAE and then fly in. That's what increases the cost, all that logistics and all of that. So yes, it turned out to be expensive. However, FIFA has still sold tickets. Like, the tickets are flying off the shelf. So even those that have put their, that went into the lottery, they're just like, we don't have a chance of getting the ticket. We're just putting our names just so that we'll see if we can get something. It as much as we're complaining about the World Cup, everybody wants to see the World Cup. And so tickets are going. However, when you go to this country, also remember that they have very strict laws.
Please don't be
Apparently,
frolicking on beaches. Don't be doing anything.
Yeah, it turns out that there's no fornication or adultery happening in the country.
Don't do it, guys.
Well, if it happens before that day, just know that during the World Cup, they shall be very strict with that. So if you're single, know that that's your time for chastity. Pray to the Lord, watch your football, and go back home.
Like putting people in jail.
Because if you are going to jail.
There's a space for you.
If you smile at anybody you like, leave it at a smile. Anything further than that, you're going to jail. So yes, there's a lot of laws. All those things that happen during World Cup, where people, overindulge, whether it comes with alcohol or anything, don't try it.
At this point, I just feel like I should warn the whole of Britain.
Exactly.
United Kingdom, just stay at home.
Just stay at home. If you know, yeah, if you know your Shopwise cousin,
Just
stay at home.
chill at home, man.
But yeah, so all those things. So this World Cup is strictly for football. Watch and football and tourism. Watch, visit some sites, and go home. Don't indulge. Don't meet the love of your life. Don't nothing. Nothing else should happen. Just watch football and go home. Because yes, those are and they're saying so in the face of everybody saying you people are so strict and the more people say you people are so strict and this World Cup, the more they lay down their laws. Like at this point in time, it's almost as if they're saying we've given you people a lot of money. We are going to do what we want.
Yeah, so I'm not even gonna say anything about how, because we've already touched on this thing when they first got their World Cup
Yeah.
hosting duties. Like it just doesn't make sense, and the closer we get to it, it
It's-
makes even less sense.
Yeah, that's when they got it. They're just trying to be. Oh, we are liberal now. Everybody welcome. I was like,
We'll
well,
see what happens, and we're seeing what happens.
now
right
we're seeing what happens. So please, just go to the world. Just buy your ticket, go to World Cup, watch football, and come back home. That's all.
Okay, and we've got some news in for Gareth Bale, who on Sunday appeared to confirm his move to Major League Soccer side Los Angeles FC. This was following his departure from La Liga champions Real Madrid. So
Yeah.
he was like, "See you soon, Los Angeles."
Yeah, there's nowhere else to go. When you think about it, the only place he could have gone back to was Tottenham, and Antonio Conte doesn't want any bench warmers there. He wants people that are ready to work hard. You know how Antonio Conte is. If he's paying you a salary, well, if they're paying you a salary on his behalf, you're going to have to work for that money. Overtime too. So Gareth Bale couldn't go back there. So anywhere else that would have wanted Gareth Bale in Europe would have demanded the pressure of being a Gareth Bale would have come onto him. So, well, LA is the best place to go. Nice beaches,
The
warm
legend
weather.
retirement
Yeah,
center.
celebrities. He can play golf anytime he wants. That would be great for him. So good one for him. At the end of the day, he's found a deal to go to LA. Also, there are big moves that are happening.
He
Arsenal
gave it his
fans.
best. Now he can just
Yeah, now he can just go. Arsenal fans were hearing that Gabriel Jesus is coming, and not just that maybe Rafinha will come from Leeds. So I don't know what's happening. Where are people getting money when other people are looking for money? And Arsenal fans, tell us, where are people getting money? Because they're the only ones, they're really doing business. Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United is still toasting nobody.
All right.
Manchester
right.
United have bought nobody. And then big news for Nottingham Forest, they got Taiwo Awoniyi. So Nigerians, you get the opportunity to see that striker in full action.
And Romelu Lukaku arrived at Chelsea, heralding his move as a dream come true. But less than a year, the Belgian striker is set to rejoin Inter as one of the most expensive clubs in Premier League history.
Well,
Wow.
I don't know why. Okay, so bottom line, it was the analysis of how Lukaku went from being the missing piece that Thomas Tuchel needed to being the rejected one, and how he was so desperate that he just wanted to leave the club, and he was like, "I'll take any pay cut you give me, anyone, just get me out of here," and that's what's happening. So I mean, the transfer fee was too high for any club that would have been able to get him back. So he's going on a loan move and he's taking a pay cut. But he's going to do anything right now to leave Chelsea.
He was like, "Guys, SOS.
It-
At
it-
this point, it's not business, it's
I
charity.
mean, because
Help me."
the fan, the minute that interview came out, like he was still, trying to manage, grudgingly manage the tactical change. But the minute that interview came out, everybody in Chelsea just fell out of love with Lukaku. And Lukaku was like, I don't need to be here. I can't do this anymore. But yeah, it was all those. Again, I think at the end of the day, Lukaku left Chelsea not because of the football, but because of all the other things that happen off the pitch, which is not a way footballers should leave a club.
All right, and we're done for the locker room, but not for the conversation. Find Tega at Tega Supreme up on Twitter. She'll get into everything. And of course, LIS at LIS International. I'm sure they'll be tweeting all about the stars that they gave an amazing platform to an amazing growth as well. So congratulations to LIS, Ladies in Sports International. And coming up 9 o'clock Lagos, you'll be talking. And let's talk guns for the people. Guns for everyone? That's our question. What's your answer at 9 o'clock?
No
Remember
guns,
one
so
Mohammed guy? He's always sending messages in.
Yeah.
Trigger. So this time he says,
hold on. No. You cannot be giving food to iPhone.